Hello children, today we'll be starting with chapter number 8, the sectors of the Indian economy of class 9 economic applications. Sectors. The Indian economy can be divided into various sectors depending on various parameters. The first parameter is economic activities. That means on the basis of what is being consumed, produced, distributed and exchanged. According to the economic activities, there are three sectors: primary sector, secondary sector and tertiary sector. Primary sector is the sector which basically produces those goods which are obtained from natural resources. For example, the agricultural sector, poultry, dairy farming, etc. The secondary sector is one which includes those activities which produce products with the help of raw materials that is produced in the primary sector. For example, cotton is produced in the primary sector. That cotton is used as a raw material in the secondary sector to produce clothes. The third sector is the tertiary sector, which makes use of services, which provides various types of services. Now, the cotton produced in the primary sector has to be transported to the secondary sector. The shirt produced or the cloth produced in the secondary sector has to be transported to the market for selling. The transportation is a service. The transportation facility is a service. For example, we hire a vehicle to carry our products from one place to another. We get the facility of using the vehicle for the time being to transport our goods. We pay money for that use of the vehicle for the time being. The vehicle does not become or we do not get the ownership of the vehicle. The vehicle does not become ours. It's just a matter of transferring the goods from one place to another. The service which it is rendering comes under the tertiary sector. Moving on to the next parameter, the sectors on the basis of ownership of resources. On the basis of ownership of resources, there are two sectors, private sector and public sector. Private sector is the one belonging to the private individuals and public sector is the one belonging to the government. Productive resources, land, labor, capital, entrepreneur belongs to private individuals. Land, labor, capital, entrepreneur belongs to the government. That means here the government can produce, here the private individuals can produce goods and services. The third basis of differentiation is on the basis of geographical location. That means where it is located. On that basis, there are two sectors. One is the rural sector and the other one is the urban sector. The rural means the one in the undeveloped areas, the villages. Urban means the one in the developed areas, that is the towns and the cities. Based on that feature, based on that fact, on the factor that it is set up in an underdeveloped area, its features are defined. A rural sector is one in which there is maximum dependence on primary activities. Okay, primary activities means agriculture. Most of the people depend upon the agricultural sector, dominance of agriculture. Land there is basically used for agricultural activities, growing crops, processing the crops, etc. A large number of people stay in these areas. There's a large concentration of population. There is low density of population. Low density of population means in a wide area, less people stay. Say, rural sector covers 30% of India and urban sector covers 70% of India. Land, I mean. Okay? In that 30%, only 20% of the population stays. But in this 70%, 80% of the population stays. That means in 1 square kilometer, here less people are dependent. Here more people are not dependent, reside, stay. Then, so that makes the density less and here the density is more. Then here there are two types of unemployment. One is seasonal agriculture is a seasonal business. That means a person grows rice, is employed in a particular season, and next season he cannot work. That is known as seasonal unemployment. And disguised unemployment means, suppose in 1 hectare of land 5 people are needed, but since it is a family business, if there are 7 members in the family, all 7 of them work in that farm or in that field. Okay, so we think all 7 are employed, but actually 2 are unemployed because that land needs only 5 workers. Those two workers come under disguised unemployment. Then there is underdeveloped infrastructure. That means no proper roads, schools, hospitals, etc. for the development of the people. Then moving on to the next sector, which is known as the urban sector. It is the sector present in the developed areas of the country. Accordingly, here the people are dependent upon the secondary sector and the tertiary sector. The secondary sector is the one in which goods are produced from raw materials produced in the primary sector. That means it includes industries and services. Then, dominance of non-agricultural income, because people earn their income from agricultural sector. Dominance, not that agriculture is not present. Agriculture is present, but more people work in the industries and in the service sector. Similarly, land is used for non-agricultural activities, that is for setting up industries and for providing services. Less number of people stay in these, a small fraction of the people of the country stay in the urban areas. But since the area occupied by the urban area is less, there is a low concentration of population over here. Okay, since low concentration of population, but then there is a high density of population, because in a small area more number of people are staying, so there is a high density of population. Then there is open unemployment here. Open unemployment means open and educated, because they know how to do the work, they are educated, but there is no job available. That is known as open unemployment. Educated people not getting jobs is known as educated unemployment. Technological unemployment, because nowadays companies don't depend upon workers. Maximum work is done by machine. That creates unemployment. This is known as technological unemployment. And frictional unemployment, because suppose nowadays, earlier your parents were using ink pens, which are no more in demand. Suppose an industry wants to shift from production of ink pens to ballpoint pens, which is in demand. They will lay back workers for some days, okay, because they have to change. It will take a span of say 3 to 4 months. For those days, the workers will be sent off. That period of time, the workers become unemployed, and that is known as frictional unemployment. Lastly, infrastructure is developed as compared to the urban sector. Schools, roads, hospitals, etc. are available.